Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys our first impressions for a brand new album that just dropped today by Stone Sour, titled Hydrograd. Stone Sour is a band that neither of us are particularly that fond of. I mean, I like them, they're a good band, but I don't listen to them that much. I only own one of their albums, and that's House of Golden Bones Part 1. I don't own number 2. That's it. I mean, I've heard other tracks from other albums and stuff like that. They're good. I mean, I don't hate them, but I don't know. But I think it's going to be interesting to give this album a chance, to hear our first impressions, and next week we'll give a final review like we normally do. And I'm trying to go in with a really open mind. I don't want to go in like, oh, I already don't like this band, because I don't know. I love Corey Taylor. I love his voice. I love his singing. I think he's an amazing singer. And he's basically what draws me to the band, obviously. So I'm just going to see what the rest of the band, what the songs and stuff can do for me. And I don't know, what do you think so far? Well, we're going into it.
I really don't know too much about Stone Sour. Like Vile said, not either of us are huge on this band. So, I'll be going in with a very open mind.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't barely heard any of this band at all. I remember listening to a little bit, maybe a year or so ago, but didn't really have too much exposure to this band, so...
There's actually 2 singles that are already released off this album, and I have listened to them. One's called Fabulous, the other one was called... Memory Fart. I don't remember. 316? I don't know why that's coming to my head. It might be something like that, like maybe a number.
Some number?
Some number related thing. I don't know, but Fabulous was one of them, and I remember the video for that was kind of funny. It had all these
with the
inflatable arms.
men?
Yeah, that was alright.
I heard about that.
Both those songs were decent. Didn't love them, didn't hate them, they were alright. So if the rest of the album's kind of in that vein, you might like it. I don't know. But either way, this is going to be our first impression, so we're going to go listen to the album right now for the first time in its entirety, from beginning to end. Then we're going to come back, and we're going to let you guys know our first impressions of Hydrograd by Stone Sour. So we'll be back in just a minute.
Hey guys, welcome back. We just got finished listening to Hydrograd by Stone Sour, and this album was very interesting to listen to. There was a lot of content.
Yeah, 15 songs.
15 songs.
Album.
So it took a while for us to
get to know
it.
what the running time was completely. I didn't look, but 15 songs, and they're all average length.
Yeah, I mean the longest song was about 6 to 6.5 ish.
6.5, 6:32.
About that long.
And the shortest was the intro, which was like 2:02, but that was just an intro.
So everything else was arranged between like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that does stack up, especially when you're having 15 songs on the album. But what did you think?
My thoughts on the album. Well, we were talking about it a little bit a minute ago after we finished listening to it. And you were saying that you kind of think it was all over the place, and I was kind of disagreeing. But now I'm conflicting my opinion because it kind of was all over the place, because there's 15 songs, right? But there's about 3 songs that really like tone it down.
Yeah.
They mellow it out. The tempo's a lot slower. Songs are a lot softer. A lot more just slow-paced songs. Then there's 3 or 4 songs that just amp it up.
Yeah.
Like they go heavier, faster, more adrenaline, more screaming. Just they turn it to 11. The rest of the album, however, is on a plateau. It's just all streamlined. Everything kind of falls exactly into place.
It's between those 2 levels of low and high that you already explained right there. It's kind of in a mid-section.
Yeah, so the album does bounce around a lot, but I still felt like it was pretty consistent. I didn't feel like it, other than one song, Saint Marie, which was basically a country song. It was like a campfire country song, which was pretty damn bad, in my opinion.
Yeah,
in my notes, I even wrote that it sounded like something Miley Cyrus would sing. Not that I'm a Miley Cyrus fan in any way, shape, or form, but I could picture her singing this song, like around a campfire, like Kumbaya style.
Yeah.
I
share that opinion.
It was a vibe killer, if there's ever a vibe killer.
My biggest issue with that song, really, it's a ballad, whatever. People do ballads. It was 4.5 minutes long. almost a 5-minute ballad.
I don't think that's too long for a song, but yeah, when you're listening to a song that you don't like, well, a song that completely like changes the atmosphere of the album. You know, and we talked about this with all our other reviews. There's always a song in the middle of the album that tones it down, mellows it out, and then it's like a segue to the second half of the album, which is usually picks it up again.
This album was very different from what I normally see in albums, because you had the first few songs which had energy, had lots of energy. It was really up there.
Yep.
Then like a chunk of songs in the middle were all toning it down. Not just one song that was transitioned. There was like multiple songs in a row that would do that.
They weren't toning it down as much.
Pick up again.
That specific song just dropped it.
Like that just like, okay, that's when they hit the bottom.
If the album's sitting at like maybe like a 7, that song dropped it to like a 2. Right, and then it bounced back up to like a 7, and then there's a couple songs that hit like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, it was, you know, I also feel like that kind of structure was really just off for me. To have it up there, and then it just jumps down in the middle, and then it jumps back up near the end. You have a really weird sandwich that you're gonna eat, and I'm not sure if it's really that.
Like a turd sandwich.
Like, it's not very tasty.
Yeah.
But what were your favorite tracks? Because I know, we already kind of talked a little bit about our least favorite track, which is
favorite
Shared,
tracks.
but
I had a couple that I actually really did like. Let me see here. So I had 2 tracks that I rated as 9 out of 10, which may be a little bit generous. I was being a little bit generous, I feel, but I mean, it is what it is. So the first track I gave a 9 was Mercy. So let me see what my notes were for Mercy. That's the one actually that had the guitar solo, and then right after the guitar solo, had that awesome drum fill.
That caught me out of nowhere.
It's pretty cool. It's a long drum fill, like, I don't know, longer than normal. I don't know, was it 2 bars or something like that?
It's like it was, a little bit lengthy, but at the same time,
it segued from the solo back into the chorus. Yeah. And I thought that was unique.
That was really creative to do that instead of having the guitar just play it out. You have the drums do a little bridge there to, put them together.
Segue it.
That was interesting.
Also point out that every song in this album, aside from the stupid country song, had a guitar solo.
Didn't that one have one as well? It did.
Did it?
It did, yeah, it did.
Man,
every single...
I think I might have passed out. I might have been sleeping.
Every single song in this album had a guitar solo.
So every song has a solo. So once song 11 came on, which is Mercy, the song I just talked about, I wrote best solo on the album so far. So that's 11 songs in. The solos were kind of getting better as they went. So I remember I wrote that again for another couple songs after that too. But another note that I wrote for this song was that it had a good chorus for once. Now this is one thing that was kind of killing the album for me, is that I liked a lot of the grooves, I liked a lot of the verses, I liked a lot of the guitar work. The choruses though, I don't know, man.
They were getting you?
They were getting me, but not in a good way. They were killing the song for me, and I'm going to let you say your piece first, and then I'm going to tell you I have a pretty consistent note that I've written for almost every song, and I'm going to tell you what that note is. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. Oh, before I pass it off to you, I just want to tell you one more song that I thought was good. I'm not going to go too much into it, but Whiplash Pants.
Oh,
I also thought it was great.
I agree.
It was heavier and faster than previous tracks. Nice long solo, best solo on the album so far, this is the next song after Mercy. So like I said, it got better as it went. And heaviest song so far. It's it was definitely a high point in the album for me. But yeah, those are the 2 top songs that I wrote notes for. So yeah, I'll pass it off to you, and then I'll tell you what my common note through the whole album was.
Well, I guess I'll talk a little bit more about Whiplash Pants, because I feel like I really like that song too.
What a funny name though, Whiplash Pants.
A lot of the title tracks, or a lot of the
songs have weird names.
Thank God It's Over. Song number 3, except it's track 5.
By the way, correction. At the beginning of this video, I thought the song was called 316. That was just a memory fart. The song number 3 I was talking about.
We got, Friday Nights, but it's Nights as in the
Knights
medieval.
of the Round Table, yeah.
Somebody Stole My Eyes. So these are really odd titles. But anyway, Whiplash Pants. I really liked that song. That was great. Yeah. Cool keyboard, and then it just goes in.
Yeah, it's like a keyboard intro,
shit.
And then it just dives right into it. Heavy, fast,
punches
bam.
you right in the face.
Yeah, bam.
It's like, oh, fuck, man.
That's good. Yeah, I like it.
A few more that I liked were... I liked Knievel Has Landed. I liked how the bass was a lot more prominent.
Another weird song name, though. Knievel Has Landed. All right.
The Taipei Person Alati.
Yep.
That one was also really cool. I liked how it kind of switched around between different vibes within the song itself.
Yeah.
I liked the the variants there, but it kind of like ended a few times. There's like so many parts where it sounds like, okay, the song's over. Oh,
It sounded like they didn't know how to end it.
Yeah.
It
was
just
just
kind
kinda
of doing different things and transitioning to different.
little odd.
It was odd.
Those were pretty much like the really high points for me. I did like Mercy.
What was your highest rated song though?
I think it was Whiplash Pants.
Whiplash Pants, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was a really good fucking song. One thing I'd like to mention though, about When the Fever Broke.
Okay.
I feel out of all the chill songs on this album, this one is the most effective because it was the last track. And, the energy it put there is good as an outro track, as the outro
I
feeling.
think it works that way.
It worked, yeah, exactly.
Especially after a 15-song album. You listen to 15 songs and you're kind of like, okay, wrap this up already. And for a nice, mellow, toned-down song to do that, I think that's good.
It is also the longest track on the album at 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's nowhere else in the album that it would fit except for where it is. So I was really good at song placement by Stone Sour there.
To
like
add
that.
to that, though, as much as it might have been appropriate to put it at the end of the album because of the type of song it was, I still didn't think it was a good song. It was one of my lowest rated songs. I felt like too long. It kind of kills the adrenaline of the album, kills the hype of the album. It was one of those, it's one of the pieces of shit that's in the sandwich you talked about. I mean, I don't want to talk too much shit about it, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna get bored of listening to that song after I hear it a few times. So
I think perhaps that might be because of the length.
it might be one of the,
Might be a little bit too long.
It might be one of the ones that I'm gonna skip, to be honest. I'll
Yeah.
probably give it a few more chances, then I'll probably go, okay, I've had enough of this.
Another issue I kind of find there with what you're talking about is that it does kind of out of nowhere just jump right back down again, because you have, Friday Nights, which has some energy.
Yep.
You have Somebody Stole My Eyes, which has a lot of energy,
Yep.
and then just boom, back down again with When the Fever Broke, which
Just
it
nosedives.
did literally earlier in the album with stuff like Say Marie, which it was not.
So let me tell you what
Not great.
my constant note that
What-
I was
what
writing.
was it?
Okay, so the thing I was writing on, not every song, I'd say maybe 10 out of the 15 songs, mainstream try hard. That's just what I wrote. And the reason I wrote that is because I keep getting a feeling when I listen to this band, not just this album, but Stone Sour altogether, is that they're really, really, really trying to write a song that's going to catch in the mainstream and make them huge, make them a huge band. And I know deep down in their hearts, deep down in Corey's heart especially, he wants this band to be big. He wants it to be bigger than Slipknot, bigger than everything. I remember back a while ago, back when Stone Sour first kind of came on the scene. It was after Slipknot, but when Stone Sour first started kind of coming out, there was an interview done. I can't remember who it was with, but Corey Taylor said that Stone Sour is going to be bigger than the Rolling Stones. Now that reminded me of an interview with Oasis when Oasis said that they were bigger than the Beatles. Now making statements like that it's ignorant. That's just, I mean, the level of ego that you have to say something like that. I don't respect that. I find that that's just too arrogant, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I feel like these guys are trying really hard to put out a song. That's why the choruses were weak for me, because the choruses all seem so radio friendly. Fuck that. Forget about the radio stuff, okay? Don't stop making an album for the radio, make an album for the fans. Now I know there's a lot of fans of this stuff.
Yeah.
There is, of course. But I feel like the song's heavy hitting, hard hitting, fast, heavy. I said heavy already, I'll say it again. Heavy. And then bam, the chorus goes boom and mellows out, and it's like this nice singy chorus and all this stuff, and it doesn't sound bad, but come on, man, like stop trying to cater to the radio players.
That adds to another level of the inconsistency I found with this album.
Yeah.
It'll do a lot more artistic stuff, and then it will cheese out. And there were a few songs I did write, kind of sounds like a generic classic rock radio song.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really have a kind of flavor to it. When other songs did, which is another inconsistency, how as entire songs, some of them gave me like, oh, this is great, and then others is like, I've probably heard a song exactly like this multiple times.
One thing I will say though, to their credit, this album does not sound like it was rushed. It doesn't sound like it was thrown together. It does sound like they put a lot of thought and time into
They
making
put their
it.
time into it.
It's well produced. It's well made. One of the best things on this album is the guitar work. Like we said, there's a guitar solo in every song. good
They're not
guitar
bad.
solos.
They're not bad at all.
Not amazing. I wasn't blown away, by anything specifically.
Some were better than others.
Some were way better than others. Some were longer. Some were short and sweet. Some were long and cool or whatever. But yeah, overall, I think the guitar work, some of the drums, the driving drums were really good. Overall, though, not bad for first impression. I was feeling it. I'm looking forward to listening to it more. Let me just say that.
There were some high points that I felt could bring me back to this album even more.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting throughout the week to see what this sounds like for me as it evolves.
Yeah. So we'll be listening to this album as much as we can for the week, and we will be back in a week to give our final review on Hydrograd by Stone Sour.
Yes, so remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Keep with us for 1 week, and we'll give you our final review on Stone Sour.
There you go.
See you guys later.
I'm Bile Self.
I'm TV Fish.